Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to change the spark plugs or inspector spark plugs on a Mazda 3 hatchback. It's pretty simple. First you need to take the intake, the computer, and the air filter. This is a 1.6 liter. You got a bolt right here. Loosen this one, and right there, loosen this one. Okay, I'm going to loosen them, take them out, come back to you. So as you see, took the 3 bolts out. So now the top of the intake manifold is loose. We've got a couple more things to do. We're gonna take this part of the intake off. Just pull it off like that. There's a tab here and a tab at the back right behind it. Just want to wiggle it off. Right here it's connected to the frame, to the 2 bolts. So don't try to disconnect that. Just disconnect it from here. This part is also hard, so just keep this with the intake manifold. You want to take a Phillips head screwdriver, come here, disconnect or loosen this clamp to loosen the pipe that goes from the air filter into the actual throttle body and then to the engine. You want to loosen that, and then usually there's 2 screws right here that you need to take off, but mine is busted there, and the guy who I bought this car from replaced them with plastic tabs, so this one is not budging and I don't want to cut it, so it's broken. I'm just gonna come here and disconnect these wires. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect them. So this one, it's harder, so you have this one and these 2 over here. So how to disconnect these wires: you need flathead screwdriver. What you want to basically do is come in here a little, just lift it up just a little bit so it gets loose, then push it down, and by pushing it down, it by itself will automatically disconnect the wire just like that, and then wiggle it the rest of the way off. Okay, I'm gonna do it and come back to you guys. So I disconnected this one after I took off the cover, and I realized that I snapped the plastic piece. So do not use the screwdriver where I put it. It's actually pretty easy. You want to go at the back. There's a little latch thingy that you want to press, and it will just kind of release it for you. Right here, push it down. I don't know if you can see it. Put it at the back, push it down, and it releases. Then just pull it down from each side equally, then just wiggle it off. Now you got this is the computer's unit, and then you got this piece. This piece is a bit trickier, so you want to press with your thumb. It's pretty on there. You don't want to pull from the wires, but you want to pull pretty hard. So right there, you just need to press this in and pull up. So I'm gonna do that with both hands and come back to you. So now that everything is loose, you want to pull the whole intake system out. That's going to be a difficult thing to do, but I'll try to show you if I could. So first you want to pull it up and wiggle it to disconnect the air hose, and push all the wires under or around, and there's a couple vacuum hoses over here. Take it to the side and boom. Now you have access to your coils, spark plugs, fuel injectors, and I'll show you how to take the spark plugs out. So you're gonna have a bolt over each coil of the spark plugs. Loosen them. It's the same socket as the 3 bolts of the intake. You're gonna need a specialized socket for the spark plugs. But the secret here is you're gonna take each coil out by itself. You don't want to take them all at one time. Make sure there's no debris inside. So after you take out your old spark plug and put your new spark plug in, you want to put it in the actual socket. And this is why I told you should do it once at a time and not take all the coils out and all the spark plugs. All this loose dirt would get in. You're going to take out your coil, which you should put back when the spark plug is not in. Drop our spark plug in, tighten it up just until spec, then take it out. Put your coil back in, make sure it's pushed all the way down, tighten your screw, and you're good to go. Remember, you want to make sure your spark plugs are pretty tight, and also you want to make sure you tighten the screw that holds in the coil, or you're going to have a problem later on. So make sure your spark plug is tight and the coil or wire that holds it in. So the technique to return your intake, it's pretty simple. There's these clips that basically separate the intake into two pieces, the upper pieces and lower pieces. So the lower pieces is the filter housing and the intake, a little bit of it. Then the upper pieces is the lid of the filter case and the intake to the throttle body and the computer. So what you want to actually do is set up the top first, because it gives you more clearance. So you want to put it in, slide it in. It's on the bottom. Make sure you remove all the cables and stuff. And what you're trying to do is to insert it back into this big pipe right here. Just shove it in. And don't worry about the cables and stuff, we'll connect them later. Then what you want to do is come back, lift it up, slide your filter with the filter box under it, and then you just want to kind of wiggle it all together, making sure nothing is stuck. So after that, just connect your computer pieces, your computer cables, and you're almost done. So I'm gonna connect everything, make sure everything is good, and then come back to you. So put the cover back on, tighten the 3 bolts, they're 10mm. You have one back here, tighten them. And I'm gonna do that and come back to you. So you want to come here and tighten the intake, get it really tight, and you're done. Now the most important thing when you start it up, you just want to keep an eye on everything and make sure everything's working good. There's no check engine light. There's nothing on the dash. That's just for the brake, seat belt, and that's because the engine is cold. And this Mazda, it doesn't have the gauges for coolant or heat or anything. Something goes wrong, just tells you something goes wrong. That's only for the engine that it's cold and telling you to wait 5 minutes until it heats up. Anyway guys, this is how to change your spark plugs. See you in the next one. Peace out.